Good evening from TMS Roundtable. My name is Dr. Tovah Goldfine. My guest tonight is, I love saying your name, Aminata.
Yes, yes.
And I'm not even going to say your last name. It's another beautiful name, Mirika.
Miraki, yes, Aminata Miraki.
Anyway, and I love your accent. We're streaming from Germany. You're
Yes,
from Germany. I'm from Israel, and I'm so happy to be rubbing shoulders with you. Um, I will say a few things about how I met. I call you Ami, and
yes, absolutely.
I will say a few things how we met.
Yeah,
And then I don't like to say so much. I like for you to tell all the details, but um, I met you from the Mind Body Syndrome page. It was maybe 2 years ago, and you were asking questions, and I answered some questions, and then we had a call, a complimentary call, and you said, "I'm ready. Let's dive in." And I was like, this is an amazing story. And I remember working with you. I went back to look at some of our WhatsApp messages in the
yes,
beginning, and I remember our work. And then you were good. You were like, I'm ready to go on my own, doc. I'm a big girl
yes,
now. See you later.
yes,
I'm healing. And
yeah,
then a month ago, I see a message on Mind Body Syndrome from you talking about your healing. And then down there a little bit was like, and I saw Dr. Tovah, and I was like, oh my God, like there's nothing that could make a coach, you know, happy and thrilled. And
yes,
also, because I always say, this is the foundation, our work. And I think all of us coaches, like we're laying a foundation. Every coach you see, or every work you do, it leads you to the next thing. And ultimately, we want to be like, you work with me and you're on your own. You're the doctor. And I
yes,
think, I
yes,
think that's what happened. I think you really laid the foundation, and you excelled, and you transformed, and you broke the habit of being yourself, as Joe
yes,
Dispenza said, and
absolutely.
you evolved into a healthier, more vibrant, and your life has some heavy stuff. We'll talk
Yes,
about that, but you
absolutely.
just, with courage and so much braveness, and facing your fears and
Yes,
compassion. And I
yes.
am privileged to be sitting across from you. So I would love you just to tell our listeners a little bit about you, and then just go right into the story, and follow the timeline, and share with people
Yes,
how you healed, how they can heal, how their story might be different from yours, Ami, but healing happens.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. It is really wonderful to see you again, Dr. Tova. So I want to tell you a little bit about my own healing journey. So um, looking back, I can say that my first TMS symptoms began when I was 15 years old, I think. So after my father died, so I already had symptoms like stomach problems, migraines, and recurring back pain. So, but they were not chronic, not chronic pain. So it was more of a coming and going, and yeah. So and yes, my son. I started with my son because I have two kids. So my son is 10 years old now, and my daughter is 13 years old. So my son was diagnosed with early childhood autism, so at the age of 3, and he could not speak, and that was simply unacceptable for me. Yes, because
I can
no
imagine.
communication, yeah, with the mother, and yeah, very hard, very hard. So I started to study autism very intensive. Yeah, so that's my character. Yeah, so because I wanted to help him. Yeah, so then I discovered a method based also on neuroplasticity. Yeah, so and that enabled him to learn to speak. So he was able to speak then, and this was a breakthrough for our family life. And after that, I was more relaxed and yeah. So, but I had all to do these things, help him. I did the therapy with him by myself, so I was on my own. So, but on the other side, I had to take care of another child, and I was working and as a social worker in a hospital. And I was very alone also with this diagnosis from with autism with my son. So, and also very alone with in managing all the therapies and appointments and tasks. Yeah, so it was really stressful and overwhelming time in my life. Yeah, and this was not a short time. This took 3 years. So
Yeah.
so I was in a constant state of stress. Yeah, so because I want to help him and I want for him to getting better, because the doctors in Germany, they say, okay, if your child is not speaking, maybe he's never speaking, but this was not acceptable for me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So
Wow.
it was getting better, yeah, with him, and he was learning to speak, and then he was getting better, and I started to have health problems. Yeah,
Right.
so
So all of a
it
sudden you took the attention off of him,
yes,
even though you were living in fight or flight
yes,
constantly.
yes.
And then all of a sudden, when you could sort of breathe and be like,
Yes,
okay, then your body just said,
yes,
I need attention.
yes,
And
yes,
what kind of
yes,
symptoms did
yes,
you begin to have?
yes, yes, yes. So I was so focused on his healing journey. So in the moment when I was a little bit relaxed about him, so then my symptoms started. Yeah. So first I started with digestive problems, so followed by frequent viral infections. Then one day I started having facial pain. Yeah, for that lasted for days. Yeah, but eventually they disappeared. Yeah, so and I had no idea that my body was giving me the signal that something is wrong. Yeah, so I thought, okay, keep going. I had no idea that something my body wants to tell me something. So I struggled through everything and ignored the signs, yeah, that something is wrong, and I completely forgot who. In this time, I completely forgot, I think, who I was and what I needed for myself. Yeah, because I had no time to relax in that time with this yeah, the things because of my son. Yeah, all the therapies, all the doctors, and it was very hard. So
So you
yes,
were escaping you as well as repressing any feelings.
yes.
And then what? And then what?
Yeah, so then I ignored all the symptoms. So then I thought, okay, maybe I have these symptoms because I'm working in a hospital as a social worker in a hospital with cancer patients. Maybe this is not so good for me. So then I changed my job. So, but after just 2 months at the new job, I suffered a total breakdown. Total
Wow.
breakdown. Yeah, because in the new job I have to learn new things, and really I think I didn't really like the job. So it was not that what I really want. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. And I started then with severe back pain that lasted for months. Yeah. So I was bedridden. Yeah, for the time.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I
So were
couldn't.
you seeing doctors? Were you were you taking
Yes, yes.
medication? Were you
I will tell you. It started with severe back pain, then that lasted for months. I was then bedridden, visited countless doctors, alternative practitioners, and spent over 5,000 euros on treatments and therapies. Yeah.
did any okay, so rather did certain things help you and then you felt better or just
Yeah, it was only a little bit better. It was not so. I was at, I make physiotherapy. Yeah, yeah. And then I think I started. I make the alternative practitioners. They did
you said you did
other things.
you said you did bee venom. Were they
Yes, yes. Also, that was the yeah. That was a really
very
really painful
fascinating.
therapy.
They to the
Yeah, yeah.
audience, to the listeners, they take venom from the bee, they take bees and sting you,
Yes, I
literally
even tried
sting
venom
you.
therapy.
And then to
I
create this new inflammatory process
yes,
that
yes,
somehow heals the constant inflammation happening from the fight and flight. And I have met people that have gotten better, but I've rarely seen people that have permanently gotten better because the brain is causing it. So that was fascinating. But go ahead. So continue.
yes, yes. So I tried bee venom therapy, and I stung myself with live bees. But nothing helped. So it was very very bad. So I was in a constant state feeling of guilt and shame because I could not take care of my children. It was very bad, very very bad. So yes, and during this time, I was in the bee venom therapy Facebook group, so I checked other Facebook groups also. So and and then I saw a comment about TMS. So that was the first thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then I started researching. Then I heard about John Sano, and then I ordered John Sano's book about, I think, back pain. So that we have in this book is in German too. So I ordered it and I thought, okay, maybe that helped. That will help. So I also then ordered the book from Steve Ozanich. So also in German. And then in English, I think The Way Out from Alan Gordon. So, and then after that, I checked in the curable app. So I thought, okay, maybe you can try this. You have read all these books, and maybe it will help. So I started to used the curable app and listen to Nicole Sachs podcast and started to journal. So I started to meditating and journal. This is also in the curable app, so you have to do this also. So I using the journal speak method. So I practice somatic tracking on
Wow.
on a daily base. Then in the
Wow.
curable app, and over time, yes, I noticed, okay, that my pain was moving in my body. So it was not only the same pain. So I thought, okay, if the pain is moving, then maybe this is not a neuroplastic pain. So
Yeah.
like they recommend in the books, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And by the way, I just want to state on the record, if your pain is not moving,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it does not mean it's
yeah,
not
no,
neuroplastic. It's just
no.
a common symptom. It's a common uh, um, characteristic of neuroplastic pain.
Characteristic,
But
yeah.
this is not black and white neuroplastic pain.
No, in my case, it
It's
was
from
it
A
was
to Z.
like
It
this.
can be
So
many different things and
yeah,
autoimmune symptoms. So okay, I'm going to interrupt you for a minute. I'm going to let you talk.
yeah,
Where did
yeah,
the Lyme's disease come in and the fibromyalgia? Like, where did that?
yeah. I was so when I was see all the doctors, so I checked in. I don't know how I thought maybe I had a tick years ago, so I thought maybe the pain was coming from Lyme disease. So I was going to a doctor, spent I think $900 for blood tests or so. Yeah. So and yeah, they found Lyme disease. Okay, but I think a lot of people have this be positive in the blood tests if they check this. Yeah. So and then I was very focused on Lyme disease. Yeah. And my husband, he was going crazy because of that. Yeah, because I said, this is Lyme disease and I will never get better. And yeah, there is no cure about that. You have to take antibiotics and all this stuff. And I took antibiotics, a lot of antibiotics, and nothing helped.
Wow.
Nothing.
Wow. So,
Nothing helped.
okay, go back to the journaling and the meditation and the somatic tracking, and you were seeing a change. You were
Yes.
seeing
Yes.
changes. And so share more
Yes.
about how that and how you were feeling inspired and you were able
Yes.
to be with your pain. You were able to not be so fearful of the pain. Can you talk about that?
Yes. For me it was for me it was then important, very important. Yeah. Because some days it was worse, other days it was better. So, but I decided then, because of all the information, because of all the information and all the videos and all the incoming, it was very, very important for me to get this mass on information about it. I don't know why, but for me it was very important. So I decided then to stop avoiding life because of the pain.
Very important.
Yeah.
You decided to stop avoiding life because of the pain, which meant that you were
Yes. I stopped because then the first thing I did was I started walking with my dog every day. So for
with
only for
the pain, with the pain.
with the pain. Yes, I had horrible pain. Yeah. So but the pain was nearly unbearable. But I noticed that the movement helped me. So and I had a very nice neighbor. She took me every day. Yeah. And I was only walking to 5 to 10 minutes, but I did it. So I thought, okay, maybe this will help me. So I kept going. I kept going every day till today. I walk the dog every day. Yeah. Yeah. And then I did everything with the pain. I was going out with my family with the pain. I was going to the restaurant with my pain. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't overdo it. I think that is important to mention that. Yeah, but I didn't let it stop me from doing things. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that was the important thing to change.
Yeah.
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 Because you can in my case I could not wait that the pain will
Right.
go away. Did
Well,
maybe it yeah.
that's the key. That's the
Yeah.
key where we get better at feeling and then we feel better. And I think you became more comfortable with your fears, your shame, your guilt, and
Yes.
you were, practicing more compassion
Yes.
for what you were going through, raising children and and working full time and working on your marriage. And I feel that you just displayed so much of what we go through as parents, as wives, as husbands, and you know, you were alone, and
Yes.
yet you did not play the victim. You began to take responsibility, respond to your symptoms, and the symptoms changed. And
Yes.
so,
Yes.
what would you say? Like, I'm going to bring up Donna's question, and then
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
like you to maybe respond to it. Can you see it, Ami? Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Yes, yes. I was diagnosed with depression also, and they want to I was to see a doctor too, and they said I have to go in the clinic to treatment for that. But I thought they could not help me, because I thought this is not something they give you medication, and then what? If you take medication, I tried that too, but I was so cut off from my emotions more with the medication. So I thought, okay, that is not myself. That's not why I'm in this place. So I think sometimes, but in my case, I think this depression is not. You don't have to think so negative about the things, because sometimes in a depression can be a transformation or something like that. You can make. I started my own business after my depression, and even in that dark place, I thought sometimes they say in the TMS community, some people say they were grateful for their pain, and I always thought, oh my God, how can you be grateful for something so horrible? But in my case, the pain transformed me.
Wow.
So it made me question many relationships in my life, let go of people who weren't good for me. So make new friends, make new very, very good friends. And I think even with depression, or through my depression, I realized my potential.
Wow. Well, you really found the gift. We call it like that. You felt the darkness, but you knew there had to be some cracks where the light comes in, says Leonard Cohen. And you also understood that you could be the victim, but that doesn't get you anywhere.
No.
But you could be compassionate and loving and grateful, and like you channeled your, because I think a lot of doctors call it depression, and it's really just a lot of anxiety, which is not a bad thing. Anxiety is a message.
Yes.
From the body.
Absolutely.
I think that you got labeled that, and some people start to buy into it, and I'm, depression is a big word. It's just a word. It's just a word. And you
just a word.
Really are an incredible example of how you channeled your pain and your stress and your fear into fuel, petrol that served you, that worked for you and fed you. So, hi, Jill. So good to see you. And yes, I learned that statement, that if we can get better at feeling, then we'll feel better. I learned it from the gentleman who wrote the Presence Process, Michael Brown, I think. It's a beautiful, so Donna's just sharing more. Donna, I mean, correct me if I'm not wrong. Don't we all have PTSD? I mean, I'm not underestimating, soldiers and people that really go through enormous trauma, but, we learned from Gabriel Mate and different coaches, and even Howard Trubiner, that, you don't have to have, it doesn't matter the level of your trauma. It's really your relationship with trauma. And, our trauma is a bunch of, the most important thing is you were not safe then in your trauma. And now you're an adult. When Rose would say, let's put our big girl pants on. Now you're an adult. And you don't have to be, you don't have to,
be a victim.
Right. But you need to have compassion and love and understanding, and maybe rescue that person from the trauma. In my therapy, I had to rescue myself from a traumatic childhood. And I remember I had to kind of go and pull my little girl out and
Yes,
integrate her to
you
my
did.
adult.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know, like Joe Dispenza's work and Dr. Hanscom will talk about, like, look, there's trauma,
Yes.
but you don't have to drag a ball and chain. You have
No,
choices.
no,
And
no.
so they kind of handle it a little bit tough love. And
Yeah.
I think I know you had some trauma,
Yes, yes. Also, yeah.
that you had to move through in a very, very intense way. And
Yes,
that might have left you vulnerable, besides your son, who thank
yes,
God now is doing well. And you have proven to a lot of mothers who will have children with, ADHD or some,
yes,
autism, and that you, because this is also things that can respond to neuroplastic, and
yes.
kids can get trained, and you were just determined, and you were determined with your own health. And I
Yeah.
know that a few shows I did with the gentleman who wrote the book, um, I'm blanking. He's this lovely Iranian gentleman in California. Rapid recovery, rapid recovery. Oh, he's
Yeah,
lovely.
yeah, rapid
Yeah.
recovery. Yes, yes.
What's his name? Oh, we had two shows, and I loved him because he had.
I saw that. I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm blanking on his name. If you can help me out there and the listeners. Anyway, I'll think of it. Fred Amir.
Fred Amir. Yes,
Here's my
yes, yes,
memory.
yes. Yeah, it's very good.
Fred would say, thank you, Fred. He would say, you need to have a not just a goal, but like a desire to want, like, what do you want to heal? What do you want to do? When you heal, where do you want to go? Who do you want to
Yes,
be? And
yes.
all he wanted to do was lift his 4-year-old daughter. And he had like
Yes.
4 or 5 years. He
That's
would
so
walk
nice.
outside with his sciatica. He'd walk on
Yeah,
the street. He'd have enormous pain. He'd walk off the curb and get sharp
yeah,
pain in his leg. And he'd be like, this pain is not dangerous. I can walk. And his pain went away. And it's
yeah,
counterintuitive, because you think pain stops. So this is
yeah.
counterintuitive pain. This is not acute pain. This is neuroplastic pain we're talking about.
Yes.
We are advised, and that you can hang out with this pain and go running
Yes.
with the pain, and it's not dangerous. After you
No.
see a doctor and you get checked and do all these things, this is the method. And you
Yes.
are a beautiful example of, having a goal.
Yes.
I want to open up a business. I want to raise my children. I want to continue
Yes.
healing my son. Like, and that goal was there.
Yes. Yes. So I had the same thoughts to play with my kids, go outside, go to restaurant. It was little steps, but that helped me really in the healing journey. So yeah, yeah. So
Wow. So
in my healing journey also, then my pain improved at some time, then but then I was stuck by a new intensive anxiety. So
let's talk about that. The pain
yes,
decreased and
yes,
went away. And all of a sudden, the thoughts, the feeling, let's call it just the thoughts, the feelings,
yes.
which could look like anxiety, starts to become bigger. And then what? And then you.
Yeah. So that was the time. So I was stuck then by this new intense anxiety. So it was so debilitating. Yeah. And I felt so trapped again, because it was so I could not breathe, and and it was really bad. So that's when I turned to you. So that, because I didn't know how to deal with that then, because I thought, okay, this is no pain, this is something very different, and I found not so many books about anxiety then, yeah, and
Well, or especially
so
that what happens is that the symptoms will decrease. And for some of our journeys,
yes,
you're hanging out more with your shame, your fear, your sadness, and you're like, whoa, this is intense. Like Dr. Hanskin will say that our nervous systems aren't, we don't learn how to deal with the word deal. We don't learn. We're better with physical pain than emotional pain. We don't
Yes,
have the
yes,
tools.
yes,
And so here you were experiencing the process of healing,
yes.
and you're almost like, did you think you wanted your pain back when you were
Yeah,
experiencing?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's what you think. Oh my God, what is more bad? Is it the pain or is it the anxiety? So it is very difficult then. So that was the time. So I decide, okay, I need help. So this is a little bit too much for me. So then I decided to get in contact with you. So you helped me so much, yeah, with your calm and supportive approach then, and all the information then about the anxiety, the TMS. So, and that was the time that, yeah, so I learned at the time, so to treat my anxiety maybe the same way. So give it not so much attention, yeah. So yeah, by not paying as much as attention to it, yeah. So okay, so from that point, after our coaching, I think then the things started to improve more. So I was I still had setbacks with pain and also anxiety, but and a lot of bad days, and also extinction bursts, I think you say in. Yeah, that was very bad.
Yeah, like that you
So
were feeling happy and joyful, and you still have pain because the brain still
yeah,
is living in fight or flight and protecting you.
yeah, it's very it's not so
Well,
easy. So
share more, because Jill mentions about the compassion and this, share more about how did you learn? I mean, you were so compassionate and so attentive to your children. And
yeah,
this is so hard for people, Amy. How did you learn to bring compassion? Maybe it can help Donna and some of the
yeah.
other listeners. How did you tell us how does one
So,
learn if we didn't see it growing up, or we saw it growing up and we weren't able to implement it in our life, or we just we just assumed we were compassionate? Like, how did you bring compassion and love to your little girl, your little on
yeah.
the inside, and to you as an adult? How did you do that?
So the first thing I think is, if you have a child with autism, so you have a lot of guilt also, because you have a child, yeah, with special needs, and you think maybe I did something wrong, or this is a very bad feeling. And I think this is this was a huge step for me to forgive myself, yeah. To I cannot do everything perfect, and I started also in your coaching. I think we started to be in contact with the little my little Ami, yeah. So my little child, and also in the journal. So I was writing me a lot of letters, so compassion letters,
Very
yeah,
good. Yeah.
that I'm a good mother and I tried my best,
Beautiful.
and I'm not perfect. Okay, I cannot be perfect, but and maybe it helped to say to yourself that you are good enough, yeah, because you you feel, in my case, I felt a lot of time in my life I'm not good enough, yeah, for a lot of things, yeah. So I think, and if you can give yourself the love you can give your children too, if you learn that, so then it will come a change, yeah. The situation will change, yeah, because you see yourself with a from another place.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, it's knowing yourself. It's being able to be objective It's being able to love the part of you that you'd maybe not like.
Yes,
But
that's
to accept, like
also.
acceptance and awareness, like the awareness that your anxiety is protecting you. It's not, you're not a
Yes.
prisoner of it, and you're able
Yeah.
to put things in perspective.
Yeah.
Did you, I think also, I mean, it's something I always recommend for people because it's somatic and it's so important to be into your body and come out of the mind, and also connect that path between your conscious mind and your unconscious mind and know yourself. Did you get involved in a little bit of exercise? I know you went walking, but I
Oh
think
yes, yes. My goal was, I think in our coaching, my goal was to go on my Peloton bike. So that was the first thing, and I was after our coaching, or I think in the coaching too, I started to go on the Peloton bike, and now and I had also I had also pain when I started. I had pain when I started to make all the movements and the stuff. I couldn't do that for 2 years, so my body was not so confident, I think, in that. But today I'm going 2 or 3 times on my Peloton bike in a week, and there is no problem. I go to the gym and make some exercises. Yeah, heavy
weights,
gym
weights.
training. So, and it is very good for the body because you can have, this is a lot of stress management for me also. I do a little bit of running then. Yeah, so because I was always very active person before that, so I thought, okay, that's a goal too, to get back to the activity. And I think this is very important, yeah, for your healing too. Not you don't have to go to the gym, but you can do some make yoga or other exercises. So I think it is very important for the body to move, yeah, so the
Yeah,
muscles and all the things, yeah.
excellent. No, really, really amazing. And so, what and here you came onto the Facebook page and wanted
Yeah.
to help people, wanted to inspire people, wanted to reach out and let people know that to not give up. And
Yes, yes.
what also, like, something drove you at that time, because it was many months that I didn't hear from you, and I didn't see you around Facebook because I'm on and off a bit, and I have a few pages that I try to inspire people, and I share some of the research, and I put up the YouTube. So what was it even recently that you decided to go ahead and share, because people were very responsive to you on that post? Also, a lot of
Yeah,
people were responding, and I hope that I can send out this YouTube and let people see that your story is so inspiring, and that you're very human. You're very like anyone else, a mom,
yeah,
with a job, and you are pain free, living pain
yes,
free. I always say
yes.
we don't have to be Dalai Lamas on the mountain. We just
No, no.
have to really, like, unveil and peel the layers
Yeah,
of knowing ourselves, and the belief. Talk a little bit about the belief in yourself that you
yeah,
developed.
yeah. So I think I did the post on the Facebook site because I it was so inspiring for me to read all the success stories from the other person. So that gave me so much hope in that time, because I was in such dark place. So and the stories, the success stories, they helped me so to look forward, yeah, to look forward. And I made a promise to myself. So I said, okay, if I'm getting out of this, so I will make a post on the TMS Facebook page about my journey. That, and it took a lot of time, because I after my recovery, in my recovery, I started then my own business. So I had not so much time, because in the time when I started my business. I had previously been, also I had also anxiety and all this stuff. It was not so that I did all the things. I was healed. I had no anxiety. I had no pain. And then I started that. No, I did it with anxiety, but I did it. So.
Well, anxiety is
Normal.
Again, I think we can take that word and take the power.
Yes.
It really is, isn't it anxiety when we go to the street and we stop at the red light and we don't cross at the at the red, we wait for the green? Isn't that?
Yeah.
I feel a little anxiety every time I get in the car and I'm like, focus. If everything you got, to me, it's not. And Dr. Hanscom taught me a lot of this about, he writes a lot of articles in Psychology Today. They're on his website about, the curse of consciousness. We're conscious, sensitive people.
Yes.
I think it was Donna who mentioned, Donna, you sound like a very conscious, sensitive, strong woman.
Yeah.
This is not a curse. This is a quality that actually can serve us. And in the end, it does serve us. In the end, it's our sword that's healing us.
Yeah. I think the key with anxiety is to don't react. Yeah. You have a thought. Okay. The thought is, okay, you scared about something. So, but if you react to intent, it's the same with the pain. If you react, and get in panic because of your anxiety or your pain, that it will get worse. Yeah. So you can reflect on the anxiety. You can say to yourself, okay, maybe it is, if you in this hyper vigilant state, so you have a lot of anxiety, you hear loud noises, you be shocked about that thing, the car comes too near to you, but in if you have a calm nervous system, that is normal. So if you reflect in this situation, okay, maybe I'm hyper vigilant and I'm a little bit stressed out, and that's why my nervous system is react like that. So that is the key. So you have to reflect on the anxiety, and then I think that helped me personal. So I make no deal about it. So okay, if it is here, then it is here. Okay. So
So you don't react. You rather respond.
Respond, yes.
And I think what you're also, you just became. You understood your relationship with your symptoms. You understood your body. You didn't. There was no surprise.
Yes.
And maybe that's another grateful gift where you're having a son, with autistic characters. It's like you're able to understand such levels of stress that you can handle anything. Yeah, like you can handle anything now. Like bring it on.
Yeah,
I can handle it. And God was like, we're going to give her this family. We're going to give her this husband. We're going to give her this life. We're going to give her this, because we just built her up. We just made her strong and bring it on, like they say. And I think that your son and daughter are so lucky to have you.
I hope so.
So Jill asked, did you journal?
Yes. I'm till today. I'm if I have not every day, but if I'm in a very stressful period of my life. So, and sometimes it is really, really stressful. So I sit down for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and I journal about it. Yeah, it is really, I could not believe that it will help me, but I did it at the beginning. I did it very intensive. Yeah, so all the old stuff was coming out, and stuff about my son and other things. So relationships and all this stuff, and I don't know why it worked. Why it is so good for healing, but in my case, it helped me a lot, and I use it till today. Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. No, I, if anybody's interested, I can send me an email. There's a lot of incredible research about journaling, and I love sharing it, like what it can do to the brain,
Yes.
how it literally separates your thoughts. It brings the thoughts out of the brain onto the paper.
Yes.
And I remember interviewing and having a wonderful podcast with Nicole Sachs and Michael Galinsky.
Yeah.
And I think Rose was there also. And I asked Nicole, and I said, why just journaling doesn't work for some people? And she said, well, some people are lying to themselves. And I said, okay.
Yes.
So, and again, we have defense mechanisms. We rationalize. We don't want to face listen, I journal 40 years. I'm journaling, and sometimes I'll sit there and I'll doodle. And I'll say, what are you avoiding, Tovah? Who don't you want to visit?
Yes.
But I'm aware, and I think that's what I've learned. And I say, tonight you don't have to journal. Lighten up. You'll do it tomorrow, and you'll bare your soul.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a process, and it's not for everyone.
No,
but
no.
I feel like it's like work. It'll work if you work it.
Yes. Yes.
And the compassion and love for sometimes lying to yourself, which I do, or sometimes defending or rationalizing, which we're human beings.
Yes, it's normal.
I think it's an option. It's a one of the somatic methods that can literally affect your neurology, really affect your brain. And another thing I want to mention, because I was talking last week with I turned into a pumpkin after 9 o'clock. I want to. Oh my God! Anyway, last week, I've been co-hosting with
there was
Jeannie. Jeannie, who said hello earlier. We co-hosted last week together about the placebo, and I loved mentioning, and I'll mention it again, about Joe Dispenza's term called mental rehearsing. Here's another take-home tool. So this is a take-home tool.
Okay.
Mental rehearsal, which we do naturally, is we rehearse what we'd like to be. We rehearse maybe that I'm going to journal this and feel better. We're going to rehearse that I'm going to get triggered and that I won't feel better, but I'm going to be okay not feeling better. We mentally rehearse that I can handle anything. We mentally rehearse that I'm going to be experiencing some stressful thing, but I'm going to handle it.
Yeah.
Mentally envision. It's like visualization.
Yeah, visualization. Oh yeah, that's a very good.
He calls it mental rehearsal. Yeah. I love this term.
Yeah.
Because it puts you in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
On many fronts. And so what was your experience with visualization? And
so I tried that too. I think I tried it on the walk with my dog, I think. So because I could not get out of my bed. So I had made this visualization about, okay, going outside. Okay, I will have pain. Okay, yeah, but I will make this small round, around about our house. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So I think this is this is a very good thing. So I think a lot of famous people do that too. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you want to do something, you can do this in visualization. You can do it in every with everything. So if you be active, you can visualization that you be very active. You have some muscles. You can do this with everything. I think, and for healing, for healing and pain, you can imagine, okay, I'm walking the street, I'm pain free, I go to this restaurant or the thing. So I think this is a very, very strong tool for that.
Yeah. And you're exactly right. And so Fred Amir also mentions about he studied athletes.
Yes.
Remember, and how they visualized them winning, or they visualized them crossing the finish line, or they visualized, so it becomes where the brain, or the conscious, the unconscious, or the conscious mind starts to believe, yes, I'm going to win. And so it's, we're again walking that road from the unconscious mind to the conscious mind. And you develop the confidence. And again, I want to make a point about that. But then if you don't achieve that at that moment, to have the compassion and the hope that next time, maybe, like moderation. I mean, somatic tracking came from something called graded exposure.
Oh, okay.
Graded exposure is where we slowly expose ourselves to a little walk, like you did the 5 minutes around the circle. And then maybe, I know guys, this one guy in the beginning of my roundtables 5 years ago, he was ready for surgery, literally. And he picked up the book and he put it down and went for a jog. That was, okay, that's for some people, just jump in.
Yes, that's really good. And I'm reading a new book now. It's from Joe Dispenza. And he has also the tool with visualization in that book. So that's, I'm new in that. So because it's a very new book. So but he mentioned that too. So he said also you can visualization everything that you want. If you want to travel, so you can visualization about you can travel, and you will get a chance to make your dreams come true. So I made a visualization about my business. So
beautiful.
And it happened then.
Beautiful. What happens is I think I'm getting it right, and I've studied this, and it's like one of these things where I get confused with the right and the left. So if I believe something enough, first of all, it's the conscious mind doesn't know if it's true or not. Okay, so if we begin to journal about it and think about it and say it, then it becomes a reality. It's called the law of attraction. So this is even more so. And I put up something on my Facebook page from another neuroscientist, a phenomenal Jim Doty, credible information about the brain and law of attraction. I mean, I just love this stuff also. It's a whole nother broadcast about the law of attraction. And, it's partly, well, doc, I'm saying this over and over, it's not working. It's partly, well, it's working. Like it's partly, it's this again, it's not so black and white. It's a process. But, so much about this is the biology of belief. That's another whole aspect of it. And I know it's hard. Jill and Amaros and Donna and Steve, you've all sort of, on this journey, and other people that are going to be hearing this. We're not underestimating your symptoms. We are not.
No.
Your pain is real, but
absolutely.
We're just determined to get to the cause. And this is the way out. This work is helping so many people, and it will help you. And so if it's not helping you now, if you're not getting the results you want, it's an opportunity for you to open up another door. They say if you keep doing the same thing, expecting the same result, it's the meaning for insanity. You're a sensitive, strong person, and it's so important to not give up. And even I do a Joe Dispenza tape, and it's like every morning's an opportunity to make the changes and to break the habit of being yourself or evolve. And part of us is we have to change, but by accepting. I think you really, Ami, you accepted yourself. You stopped, you really like loved yourself.
Yeah.
And I am really, really, as much as I went through it with you, to hear you on this end of it and to know that you're pain free, but doesn't mean you don't have symptoms. It doesn't mean you don't get triggered.
No, absolutely not. And sometimes for me, with a special child, work, household is not easy. And sometimes I get the signal from my body. I would not say sometimes sometimes it is pain. I don't like all the time the word pain. So symptoms. So, but then I get the signal. Okay. So I know I have to take it easy. So, but it's this time I understand it and I listen to my body. I still use journal speak or just take more time for myself then. Yeah. That's something I've never lived like that before my symptoms. So I learned in that process, and that's what I want to say to all the people who are listening or watching the video. So for those who are in the process, you have trust in this process. So I was where you are now. So, and like me, I didn't think I would ever get out of it. There's a normal thought also. So if you have found access to alone to this TMS topic, so you are really on the right path.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love your inspiration, and I wanted to. I'm just responding to Donna because it'll be on. I have a YouTube with this is I think 257 broadcasts. This March. It will be our 5th or 6th year, and I'm not stopping. Remember this face.
That's very good.
But I would like you to please, Ami Love, would you respond to Jill, who says that she's a little confused about somatic tracking. What would you like to respond to her about that?
Okay, she's confused about somatic tracking. I understand it. Confused. So I don't know what you mean about really confused, but I think maybe some people have problem because you are if you have all this pain, you very disconnect, you from maybe you want to disconnect also from your body. It is not so easy to get in this pain. So it is no goal to go the whole time in your pain. So if you do somatic tracking and do it for 2 seconds, only 2 seconds, in the book The Way Out, Alan Gordon describes that very good. And he said they have some patients, they can only do 2 seconds in the pain, but that is okay. If you only can do 2, so next time maybe you can do 3 seconds, but I think in my case, it was the somatic tracking was very good to sometimes to slow down a little bit. Also, you can improve the pain, or you can work with it a little bit. It is not all the time working. In my case, this was also not the case, but if I'm getting pain now, I use sometimes somatic tracking to get the pain a little bit down. So, and that is working.
So I want to add to that. I've taken, certification in neuroplasticity and pain reprocessing therapy, which is another form of somatic tracking. And in my terminology, it's learning to have a relationship with the pain. It's learning to be with the sensation in a safe way. There's no danger. There's no lion coming. There's no fire. There's a sensation that's not comfortable. I'm not happy with it. I'd
No.
rather not have it, but I have an opportunity now to teach my brain that this is just a normal sensation. And my brain has made it a 10, 10, 10, and I can dial it down to a 5 and a 4 and a 3 and a 2 with
Yes.
my ability to respond to it.
Mhm.
And in that way, you're literally building a new pathway that this,
Yeah.
look, listen, the classic example is the man with the phantom leg. He's got pain in his leg, but it's coming from his brain because his leg has been cut off, God forbid.
Yes.
And so he has to learn that the pain is in his brain.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's learning cognitive behavior therapy and somatic tracking and very different other methods of that the pain is in his brain. So as you learn that your pain is being processed in your brain, especially in your amygdala, where fear and anger
Yeah.
and other core emotions, sadness and shame are being processed, that this pain is also an emotion. And when
Yes.
there's compassion and love and safety, that everything's going to be okay, the brain at that time can change. Sometimes you feel worse because it's like, whoa, 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 wow,
Yeah.
wow. And sometimes you'll feel less and sometimes you feel the same. But we're
Yeah.
not attached to feeling better, the same, or worse. We're trying to understand the relationship you're having with your sensation and
Yes.
what I call having a healthier relationship with
Yes.
your emotions and the sensations in your body, and trusting that your body's not punishing you, but it's
No, absolutely not.
protecting you,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
you have the ability to pull off the protective, army that you've created because you're safe.
Yes. Yes. And that's so important that you give yourself the messages of safety. Yeah, that's the best thing you can do if you also if you have a lot of pain and extinction births and all that stuff. Yeah, but these messages of safety, this is very important. This is a very important thing in this,
Yeah.
yeah, in this process also. Yeah, so maybe also somatic tracking is not for everybody. Okay, yeah, I can only talk about myself. So in my case it was very, very helpful
Look,
to
nothing
know.
is for everybody all the
No,
time,
no,
every day.
no,
This is a process, and you know, we're never the same every day, every meditation. This is
no.
why this loving, compassionate awareness, acceptance, enormous patience with yourself. I mean, they say you can't heal a body you hate. So it's really about a love affair,
Yes.
about a love affair with yourself. And I, want to just wrap things up. And first of all, look, this is not your language, English. You're a German speaker and you speak very beautifully and very succinctly, but I know it's not your normal language. So I so appreciate
No.
you just like really, and you understand things. And I lose the words and I'm speaking English and I sometimes lose the words, but you spoke beautifully and you spoke compassionately and you really gave some great tips.
Yes.
So
I hope so.
oh, I know you did. And to our listeners, if I think you're on Facebook, but if
Yes,
anyone has
yes.
any
I
questions,
did. Yeah, I did a post.
okay,
My
so you're
name
on
is,
Facebook. So if anybody needs to find Ami, I will put your Facebook page in the description on the
yes.
YouTube. Number one, you can always ask me questions and I can send it to Ami. I mean, Ami's a
Yeah.
full-time mother and a social worker. She hasn't become a coach, but we never know. I'm sure you're doing coaching with your work and you are surely coaching and taking care of your family. But you have been inspirational. You've been courageous. You've been fearless.
Yeah.
And I'm so privileged to be here.
Yeah.
I
And if
really,
there is
really
any question from every no matter who, so I will I will answer it. Yeah, if I can answer it, so you can ask me also
beautiful,
question on my Facebook
beautiful,
page. So I
beautiful.
will try to help.
Good. No, absolutely. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I'm so happy to see some of you tonight. Steve's from Australia, and
Wow.
Amaris is from California, And I'm always thrilled to be international. And thank you so much. Thank you to the internet. Thank you,
Thank you
God.
too for the time and the invitation for that.
Yeah.
It
No,
was so beautiful, and this was my dream also to
yeah.
share my success story. So
No,
in a broadcast, it is a lot is beautiful. So
no,
I'm happy to be here. Yeah. So
yeah,
thank you very much. So
great.
I was reading the comments
Great.
also.
Wonderful. Well, you know what? We'll be in touch. Maybe
Yes,
we'll come back again.
absolutely.
And
Yes.
I'm so grateful for you to spend an hour with me. Have a wonderful evening. God bless to all.
Yeah.
And
You
we'll see you
too.
next week. Bye, my
Yeah.
dear.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, 1 second.